it's a safe area. It's
Mm-hmm.
and it's an interesting area. Yeah.
I came up with a question.
Yeah.
I was reading about the book that you gave me, and I flipped to the page about the incident reports and how they're none, except for theft. So, I also have a very safe campus, and I know that when things happen, which is more often than what it looks like for you, 7 a year, 9 a year. But I know people are still a little bit like, what? This is Elon. Nothing bad ever happens. So does that really kind of shake up, or not really, the community?
Well, I mean, nobody ever wants any thievery at all. I mean,
well,
so it's always if something happens, there'll be alerts that go out. Oh, be sure to lock up your, I always feel like this is a bit of an oasis. I mean, New York is so much safer than it used to be, and this is a safe area. And at night, it's very well lit. When I was a graduate student here, I used to park on Riverside Drive, and I always felt very safe. So I think people feel that it's a very safe place.
That's good.
Yeah.
I completely interrupted you about your story about the area, but I forgot that.
Oh, no. That was just that's all. It's just.
It's really nice. It's like, it's very different. One thing that
I think it's a little different than what people from out of state might assume the Upper West Side was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've spent, I've been here for the past, 6 weeks, 7 weeks. But before that, my mom and I used to come up here every chance we got for a few days here, a few days there. So I've been a lot in the lower part of the city, a lot, but not up here.
Okay.
And one thing that I've noticed that I really love about the city is that you can walk, 2 blocks over, or, you can walk a really short distance and you feel like you're in an entirely different city just because of the personality of the different streets, and that is so true for up here.
It is so. That's one of the most important characteristics of all of New York City, that it is made up of these neighborhoods.
Yep.
These neighborhoods, and they are such distinct neighborhoods, and within your own neighborhood, most people, like, I've been working here for a long time. I walk the same streets all the time, and so I see the same doorman, and so there are a whole lot of people that I say hi to every morning.
Yep.
These are my people. Where you go for coffee, they get to know you. You walk in the door, and they know how you want your coffee made, and that's a real sense of connection. So, yes, in New York, people don't walk down the street and say hi to each other the way that they might in other areas, and so people who from out of town may come and think, New Yorkers, they're just so.
I never thought they were rude. They've been so nice.
But there is a different there is a different way that we operate here. We walk down the street and pretty much look straight ahead, and yet within your community, there are all kinds of connections that people make, and it's really nice. And different neighborhoods do have it, sort of a different flavor, a different tone to it. One of the things I love about New York, though, is I love the mix of people. I just love the people from all over the world are here, and you walk down the street and you hear different languages, and that people, it's just, it's a wonderful model of how people can live close together, work close together, and it functions, and they're not thinking, it's a very accepting place in a lot of ways. Very nice about that.
It's wonderful. I'm just a little under 3 weeks away from leaving, and I'm like, I'm not ready. Mom's gonna have to drag me away by my coattails.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
But it's wonderful. It's really great up here.
I hope you've been enjoying your project.
Yes.
And,
thank you. Thank you so much for your help. This is wonderful.
You're welcome.
Really good help.
You're welcome.
Yay.
Anything else you need to know?
I don't think so. you gave me your business card, so if there's anything that I think
Yeah.
of,
Yeah.
I can shoot you an email.
Okay.
So,
But the college, just to be clear,
Mhm.
it's the graduate school
Yep.
and the school for children, and the school for children goes up through eighth
Eighth
grade,
grade.
and then they also have the family center, and
Mhm.
then it is this division of continuing education, where they have people who go out into schools to do professional development, and they also have a program for continuing education where people can come and take classes,
Mhm.
but that's separate from the graduate
Right.
school.
So would assume that the school for children is a private school.
It is an independent school, and it's like a lab school.
Mhm.
So it's a place where we put into practice the things that people are learning in
Right.
the graduate school. But it's
How-
also its own thing. It's the kids who are there
Right.
are from most of them are from this neighborhood, but from various parts of the city. But it's a really mixed population.
How many of them are there?
How many
students
children?
go to?
About 450.
Oh wow. And so, do you get a lot of? Well, I guess.
So fortunately, I don't have to do admissions.
Right.
They have their own, thank goodness, admissions
Do you-
office.
Do you know if it's a lot of? I guess
It's very competitive.
really. I guess that doesn't really surprise me.
Any New York City independent school
at all. Is gonna be.
is. It's just that the demand is high.
I guess do you see? I guess you wouldn't. That would be a silly question. It wouldn't be competitive if you did. But I was gonna ask if you ever saw any kind of, I guess worry is the wrong word, but if you're sending your students to a school that they're graduate students, so they're not like just random college students who are dabbling in education, which sometimes happens at Elon before you've declared your major. But I was going to ask if parents are ever uncomfortable with the fact that people who don't have their degrees are teaching their children.
The head teachers. So in any classroom, in a, let's say a first or second grade classroom, there would be the head teacher and then a student teacher.
Right.
So it's always somebody who's in
Right.
training, and then sometimes at those grade levels there will be also an assistant teacher.
Okay. That's kind of what we do. We up until our senior year we have placement in schools, and then one of either the first or second semester of our senior year we have our own classroom, and we have a.
So the people who are the head teachers
Mhm.
have been out of graduate school for a long
Okay.
time.
Okay.
They're seasoned. They are seasoned teachers before
Okay.
they become head teachers. And our graduates work in many public schools, independent schools, everywhere. And when students are doing their student teaching, only some of them are going to be in the school for children. We want to make sure that our student teachers have experience both in independent schools and in public schools at two different levels of the age range that they're working in. And we work with lots and lots of
Okay.
different schools. So their student teaching may be any place.
Right. Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah. And we don't have them do their student teaching at the end of their program.
Okay.
Everyone does it either their first year or sometimes their second year, depending on the length of the
Mhm.
program.
But-
But they need to be taking classes while they're doing their student teaching.
Right. Okay. Interesting. It's cool to learn how different schools
Different
do
schools
it.
work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Great. All right. I think I'm all out of questions.
All right,
and of
Katie.
course, I'll walk out the door.
That's all right.
But thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
helping me out.
You're
and
welcome.
Figure out